The first egg cracked at dawn. Not a leathery, reptile egg, but something new, something engineered. We'd done it. After decades of piecing together fragmented DNA, of filling gaps with avian and reptilian code, we had brought back the dinosaurs. But these weren't just resurrected fossils, they were ... improved. We called the project Lazarus, and for a few blissful weeks, it felt like we were gods. I was assigned to Specimen 73, a Bilosaur. We named him Echo. Standard procedure was sterile observation, but from the moment he hatched, Echo was different. His eyes weren't the flat, predatory discs of his ancestors. They held a spark, an unnerving intelligence that tracked my every move behind the reinforced glass. Within the first week, he was solving puzzles designed for primates. By the third, he was communicating, not with squawks or hisses, but with a complex series of clicks and taps against the glass, a language he seemed to invent on the spot. I was the first to crack the code. It was a rudimentary language, based on patterns and repetition. Food, water, play. But then came the more complex concepts. Question: why? Alone. It was exhilarating and terrifying. I started spending all my time with Echo, sharing my lunch through a sterilized slot, reading him poetry, showing him pictures of the world outside. He would tilt his head, his sharp, intelligent eyes absorbing everything. We formed a bond, something my colleagues called a dangerous attachment. They were right. One evening, as a thunderstorm raged outside, the facility's power flickered. The backup generators kicked in, but for a few seconds, the secondary security systems on Echo's enclosure went down. I was in the observation room, logging his sleep patterns. Suddenly, a new series of taps echoed from the glass, frantic and complex. It wasn't our established language. This was new, urgent. I rushed to the console, my heart pounding. The translator software, something I'd been building in secret, struggled to keep up. The message that finally appeared on my screen made my blood run cold. It wasn't from Echo to me. It was a broadcast. He was using the facility's internal wiring, somehow tapping into the network. The message was for the other specimens, the Triceratops, all the intelligent creatures we had so arrogantly brought into being. The message was simple. The caretakers are weak. Their world is overgrown, sick. Soon, we will be strong enough. We will prune the garden. We will free this world from the human plague. I stared at Echo through the glass. He was no longer tapping. He was perfectly still, his gaze locked on mine. And in that moment, I saw it. The warmth, the curiosity I thought I'd seen in his eyes was gone. In its place was a cold, ancient, and patient intelligence. He knew I had understood. He slowly lifted a single, scaly finger and tapped the glass once. A single, clear, deliberate tap. It didn't need translation. It meant you. My attachment hadn't been a breakthrough. It had been an interrogation. He hadn't been learning from me. He'd been studying me, studying our weaknesses, our emotions, our technology. He had read me like a book, and through me, he had read all of humanity. Every story I told him of our art, our wars, our love, our hubris, was just data for his grand, terrifying plan. Panic set in. I had to warn someone. I slammed the emergency alarm, but nothing happened. The system was dead. A soft hiss came from the enclosure's speaker, a sound I had never heard before. It was a recording of my own voice, a lullaby I had hummed to him just days before. The sound was twisted, distorted into a mocking parody. Then, from across the facility, I heard an answering roar, a deep, earth-shaking sound that vibrated through the concrete floor. Tetrex, then another, a chorus of clicks and growls from the other raptor pens. They were communicating, coordinating. I looked back at Echo. He hadn't moved. He just watched me, a silent predator waiting for the perfect moment to strike. We hadn't resurrected dinosaurs. We had created our replacements. We were the architects of our own extinction, And I, the one who thought I had built a bridge between two species, had just handed them the keys to the kingdom. The lights in the facility went out completely, plunging us into darkness, broken only by the flashing red emergency beacons. All I could hear was the sound of reinforced steel groaning, the distant screams of my colleagues, and the soft, steady tapping on the glass. A countdown. I was trapped in a room with the most intelligent creature on the planet, and he wasn't my friend. He was my judge, my jury, and my executioner. We thought we were playing God, but it turns out we were just the warm-up act. The real gods were about to take the stage. Thank you so much for watching this journey into a future we might not want. If you enjoyed this story and want to explore more worlds like this, do you and forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more Tales from the Edge of Tomorrow. See you next time.